Reddit is a place for everything: hobbies, news, memes, and community. But beneath the surface-level cat pictures and political debates lies a darker side. For over a decade, users have stumbled upon threads that aren't just creepy, they are genuinely disturbing. Some involve unsolved crimes, others involve strange cult-like activity, and some seem to defy any logical explanation at all. Tonight, we're going on a journey through 5 of the most unsettling threads ever posted on the platform. These are the stories that the moderators tried to hide, and the ones that the community can't seem to forget. Before we begin, make sure you're in a comfortable spot. Maybe keep the lights on, because what we're about to discuss isn't for the faint of heart. Welcome to the shadows of the internet.
Our first story takes us to a subreddit that many believe was a front for something much more sinister: Lake City Quiet Pills. It started with the death of a longtime Reddit user named Religion Peace. When fellow users began digging through his post history, they found a trail of cryptic messages, strange job postings for contractors, and references to a hidden website. The site allegedly contained encrypted files and calendars for events that coincided with real-world assassinations. The most disturbing part? The community discovered a hidden HTML comment in the site's code that seemed to be a set of instructions for a hitman. While some claim it was just an elaborate alternate reality game, the sheer level of detail and the chilling timeline of events have led many to believe that Reddit was being used as a communication hub for high-level mercenaries. Next, we delve into the legend of the grifter. In the early 2010s, a thread appeared on the Paranormal board discussing a video so disturbing that it supposedly caused physical illness and deep psychological trauma to anyone who watched it. The thread was filled with descriptions of grainy footage showing strange rituals and flickering imagery of industrial basements. Many users claim to have seen snippets of it before it was scrubbed from the internet entirely. While no one has been able to produce the full video in years, the descriptions provided by those who remember it are terrifyingly consistent. Was it a lost piece of experimental art? Or was it something genuinely cursed that the Internet Collective worked together to erase? The mystery remains one of the most discussed lost media horrors on the site to this day.
Moving on to the enigma of subreddit A588. For years, this private community did nothing but post massive blocks of hexadecimal code. Thousands of posts, all appearing at regular intervals, with no explanation and no interaction from the posters. Crypto enthusiasts and amateur sleuths spent years trying to crack the code. Some believed it was a number station for spies. Others thought it was a complex AI learning to communicate. Occasionally, the subreddit would go public for a few minutes before disappearing again. When people finally did manage to decode some of the strings, they found seemingly random excerpts from books or coordinates to locations in the middle of the ocean. The subreddit eventually went dark for good, leaving behind a massive archive of data that still hasn't been fully solved, leaving us to wonder who or what was behind the endless stream of numbers.
In our fifth scene, we look at the Finders cult investigation. This thread started when a user claimed to have found a box of old documents in an abandoned building. As the community helped translate and analyze the documents, a terrifying picture began to emerge. The papers appeared to belong to a group known as the Finders, an organization investigated by the FBI in the 1980s for alleged involvement in child trafficking and occult practices. The Reddit thread became a hub for amateur investigators who linked the documents to unsolved missing persons cases. The atmosphere in the thread turned from curiosity to genuine fear as users reported being followed or receiving strange phone calls after posting their findings. The thread was eventually nuked by moderators, but archives still exist, serving as a grim reminder of how close the internet can get to real-world monsters.
One of the most famous and chilling personal accounts ever shared on Reddit is The Smiling Man. A user posted about a late-night walk they took in a quiet city neighborhood. As they walked down a deserted street, they noticed a man in the distance, dancing in a strange, jerky manner. As the man got closer, the narrator realized he was tall, lanky, and wearing a wide, fixed, cartoonish grin that didn't reach his eyes. The man began to chase the narrator, but not by running. He would stop, wait, and then dance stride closer whenever the narrator looked away. This story struck a chord with millions, tapping into the primal fear of the uncanny. It wasn't a monster or a ghost, just a human who was fundamentally wrong. To this day, people report similar sightings, making the Smiling Man a modern urban legend born entirely on a Reddit thread.
Then there is the bizarre case of Gitas. This wasn't a scary story at first, but rather a weird one that turned unsettling the deeper people dug. A user posted a picture of an old set of stickers from the 80s featuring strange creatures, one of which was a hairy humanoid beast named Gitas. The weird part? No one could find any record of where Gitas came from. No cartoons, no toys, no trademarks. It was as if a whole world of characters had been created and then completely erased from history. The search for Gitas led users into the dark underbelly of 1980s manufacturing and copyright loopholes, eventually leading to a defunct company with no paper trail. While it might seem harmless, the non-existence of something so specific felt like a glitch in the matrix, leaving the Reddit community obsessed with finding the origin of a creature that shouldn't exist.
The My Favorite Murder subreddit incident is a darker look at how obsession can turn toxic. A group of users became so obsessed with a specific unsolved cold case that they began doxing individuals they believed were suspect. The thread spiraled out of control as members began showing up at people's houses and filming them through windows, convinced they were helping the police. The moderators struggled to keep up as the community turned into a digital mob. It serves as a disturbing reminder of the detective culture on Reddit, where the line between seeking justice and harassment becomes dangerously thin. This incident led to major changes in how Reddit handles personal information, but the trauma caused to the innocent people targeted by the thread can never be undone.
Finally, we have the legendary search and rescue stories. A user claiming to be a search and rescue officer for the U.S. Forest Service began posting about the strange things they saw deep in the woods. While many stories involved missing hikers, the most unsettling recurring theme was the staircases. The officer claimed that deep in the middle of nowhere, miles from any trail or civilization, they would find perfectly clean white staircases standing alone in the forest. They were told by their superiors to never talk about them and, most importantly, to never, ever climb them. The vivid descriptions of the silence that surrounded these stairs and the feeling of dread they elicited became a viral sensation. Whether they are works of fiction or a terrifying reality, these stories changed how people look at the wilderness forever.
The internet is a vast and often terrifying place, and Reddit is the lens through which we view its most disturbing mysteries. Whether these stories are true, fabricated, or somewhere in between, they reflect our deepest fears and our fascination with the unknown. Which of these threads do you find the most unsettling? Have you ever stumbled upon something on Reddit that you wish you hadn't seen? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your theories. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the darker side of the web, don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. We have plenty more mysteries to uncover, and we wouldn't want you to miss a single one. Until next time, stay safe and maybe keep the lights on. Good night.